Hello, my dear students. Today we'll be talking about negotiable instrument where I'll be discussing about check. Let us understand what it is. Check is a written instrument which has been written by the drawer and to pay a certain sum of money to a person who is called as the payee. So in between, we do have an agent, that is a banker, who tend to process your check. So let us understand the parties involved in a check. There are three parties. One is the drawer. Drawer is the one who is writing the check for a value of rupees 5,000 rupees. And this drawer is considered to be Seema, for example. And now Seema is writing a check, and this check of 5,000 rupees has to be presented to Anjali. So Anjali is said to be the payee. So in between, we do have a banker who is going to honor this check. He is none other than the drawer. Okay, so these are the three parties involved in a check. Now let us understand what are the various reasons for which a check gets dishonored. First one, insufficient funds. If there is no enough balance in the drawer's account, a check will be dishonored. Second reason, signature mismatch. If the signature is not matching with the specimen copy, then again a check will be dishonored. Then the third one, post-dated check. Post-dated checks will be processed by the banker in the future date. That is as per the date mentioned on the check. Stale check. Stale check is a check where the check is being expired. So a check has an expiry of 3 months from the date mentioned on the check. After 3 months, a check becomes invalid. Next reason, alteration. If there is any kind of alteration, overwriting, any corrections, even in such cases, check will not be honored. The next point, check not properly filled. There are few basic details in which you need to fill the check, such as a date, amount, then the payee name. Okay, so and most importantly, the signature. If some of these things are not properly filled, then a check cannot be processed. Next reason, stop payment instruction. So now imagine a situation, the drawer wants to stop the payment, and obviously if that has been instructed by the drawer, the banker will not process the check. Next reason is a closed account. If imagine a situation, the account of the drawer is closed, then even in such a situation, the banker will not be able to process and a check gets dishonored. Next reason might be a frozen check or not a check, sorry, a frozen account or a blocked account. So even in this given reason where the account is not active, then a check cannot be processed. Next reason is mismatch in amount. In every check leaf that you look into, you have to state the value both in words as well as in figures. If there is a mismatch, then again a check cannot be honored by the banker. The next situation, inconsistent or inconsistent. If that inconsistent in the sense the banker cannot understand your handwriting, it's not clear, or maybe some part of the check is being torn where the information is not clear again, even in such a situation it cannot be processed. Next, again, two possibility. One is a death and the other one is insolvency. So if a person is deceased, it cannot be processed. Or one more given reason is insolvency. Even in a situation where a banker is, where a drawer is said to be insolvent, it cannot be processed. Next one, exceeding arrangement. There is something called as an overdraft. You cannot exceed beyond that given value. So even in such situation, if it has been exceeded, okay, then exceeding the limit, then again it cannot be processed. It gets dishonored. Then the next situation might be signature style. So when you look into the signature, the style might differ, and any small changes to these things, again, it cannot be considered valid. Next is altered date. Any kind of correction or overwriting when it comes to a date which is being stated on a check, again, it cannot be considered valid. The next situation can be undated check. Obviously, a date has to be written. It cannot be overwritten. Nor imagine if it has been kept blank. Even in such situation, it cannot be considered valid. Then the next stage is like where a check itself is being torn. We call it as a mutilated check, and it cannot be processed. It cannot read, okay, things like MICR, etc., and it cannot be considered. Next one, difference in ink. Okay, where a person tend to use two different pen in writing, it cannot be considered. Next reason might be crossing issue. There are different types of crossing of a check for various given reasons. Even in such situation, if the crossing is not as per the prescribed format or the reason, it cannot be processed. Then the next one is joint account. So we know that a joint account has to be jointly operated, provided you try to initially opt for a single mode of operation. Otherwise, even in such situation, two signatures are mandatory and you cannot expect the banker to honor the check. And the next reason is check presented at a wrong branch. Branch is something which has been important. It cannot be presented in a different branch. Then the next given reason is a court order. There is something called as a garnishee order. This is an order given by the court to stop the payment. Okay, even in such situation, a check cannot be honored by the banker. And the last point is account number or MICR error. So an error in these things, like maybe an account number which has been written incorrectly, or MICR, if there is a code error, okay, then even in such situation, it cannot be processed. It will be refused for payment. So these are the reasons under which a check gets dishonored. Hope you all understood. Thank you.